set up to do?
Okay, so the Data Protection Commission is an institution that is established by an Act of Parliament. That is the Data Protection Act 843. And we are a statutory body that is mandated to regulate the processing of personal data. When I say personal data, I mean the person's name, age, sex, date of birth, Ghana card number, passports, those things are what we refer to personal data. And we regulate the processing of these data, how the data controllers obtain these data, how they use it, and how they share or disclose this data.
Why is it important? What's the big deal? If you know my data, why should I be bothered?
Okay, so thank you. It is important for us as a commission to ensure people's data that institutions collect are protected, because we are all aware of how our economy, not only in Ghana but worldwide, economies are digitizing their processes. Businesses are digitizing their processes. And whilst businesses do this, it's personal data they use. It's personal data they collect from individuals, from their data subjects, from the public. It is important that they put in measures to safeguard this information from unauthorized access, from abuse, and from distraction. When you collect personal data from an individual, it is for a particular purpose. It is important you safeguard the information for that particular purpose and not any other purpose.
If an individual willingly gives some organization his or her data, that should be, shouldn't it? That individual willingly, no one forced you to tell them your age and your whatever. Why should there be a whole act that should set up a whole commission on data protection? Madam.
Okay, so if I willingly give you my data, it is up to the institution that has taken my data to protect the data that I have given to you. Because as you said, data is running the world. Data is what we are using to run businesses. That is how Google is making its millions. It takes the information that we are putting in on their Google search, in their Gmail, to be able to customize your experience that you have when you use their apps. And that is how, so it's money. Your data is actually a lot of money to people. So if I give you my data, then you, the institution, need to ensure that you are using the data and protecting in such a way that you do not, I don't get harmed. You do not expose my data to the wrong people for me to get harmed. So on issues like identity theft, like financial fraud, people are using this information to be able to get to people. So the commission has been set up to be able to regulate how we are using the information that people willingly give to us. So the commission is supposed to be protecting the individuals who are given their information, and then regulating the institutions that are taking the information to use it in a way that does not harm the individual.
On a regular basis, what does the commission do? On a regular basis, on a daily, I don't know, what you wake up, you go to work, you do what?
Okay, so just as we have in our mandate, the commission is expected to keep a data protection register.
Explain that to me.
Okay.
What is in that register?
So Section 46 of the Act established the data protection register and require of every institution, every data controller, every business to be registered with the commission as a data controller before you can process personal information. So it's the commission that is mandated to keep that register. So on daily basis, we ensure businesses that are processing personal data and are not registered with the commission regularizes their processing by coming to the commission to register, not necessarily coming to the offices of the commission, but hitting our website and creating an account for their institution.
Boss, don't go fast. Let me understand this. So Abdullah Saka has a hub, and Abdullah Saka wants to bring in some smart IT guys to come create some wonderful apps and solutions for this country. Abdullah Saka tells them, I'm putting a form online, fill in with your data, and then we'll shortlist and invite 10 of you. Abdullah Saka is supposed to come and register his hub with you.
Yes, he's a registered institution.
He will come and say, what? I collected data from...
No. Okay, so let me explain.
Please do.
So, in your example, Abdullah is operating a hub.
Yes.
So, just as Pearl said, that hub might have been registered with the Registry of Companies.
Yes.
So, it's a registered institution, and the Act requires that every registered institution, incorporated, be registered with the Data Protection Commission before processing personal information. Yes.
I can imagine a number of businesses breaking this law right now. Plenty.
A lot.
Is it that what has been saying the PR plan or the promotional plan or the communication, if I could use that word, for the Data Protection Commission that should have made it so popular that an Abdullah Saka example, the person would naturally come to the person, let me go register with the DPC before I even start collecting people's data. Since the commission has been around for what, 2012? 2015 till now, how have you promoted activities of the commission, Madam Corporate Affairs?
So, we are not there yet, and issues of data protection, even globally, is not so known. In Africa, there are just a few countries that have a commission. Ghana was actually one of the first that has a commission in Africa. So we are grinding slowly. We have future plans of doing a lot more awareness activities to engage people, the corporate sector and the informal sector. So what we do is we have radio engagement, media engagement. We have newsprints in the newspapers. But this year, for example, we did 10 training colleges across the nation. We went to Bakabaga, went to Tamale, went to Volta, St. Teresa's, Kumasi, Takoradi, went to all those places, and we gave awareness to over 2,000 training students. That's the earlier part of January. And we constantly do that. Last week we were at Ghana Employers Association. There were about 70 different institutions where we engaged in an awareness session on issues on data protection. Just yesterday, Mr. Quintin was at Pentecost Convention Center somewhere in Gumwa. Yeah. There were about 400 or 500 pastors for about individual churches where we also engaged them. So those are some of the things that we do as an awareness form. We also do free webinars on Tuesdays and on Thursdays to educate the public on data protection issues. We have paid and free, like that awareness. We also have paid awareness sessions where institutions pay for us to train or give basic awareness to their staff on data protection.
Yeah, I'm asking this because I don't think a lot of people know about what you people are doing, the great work you're doing. So talking of churches are also supposed to register?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Because of the tight card and stuff like that. So you have a tight card and the name and everything is on it. So if you're a pastor and you are collecting information about church members, especially to do with tithe, go and register. I beg. Don't prove on me, I beg. What are the most significant challenges you're facing in executing your mandate as a commission?
Okay, so just as Pearl mentioned, we don't have enough resources to be able to reach out to the entire nation. So we actually select those that are within our reach based on the capacity we have. And also, we need funds to be able to recruit more people to be able to execute the mandate.
Okay.
Because data protection is actually large. It cuts across every industry and every sector. And we need more people to be able to execute the mandate. But resources has been a bigger challenge.
Okay. In your engaging with Ghanaians,
yeah,
do you see them as appreciating the work of the commission? Do you think the average Ghanaian appreciates what you're doing as a commission?
Yes, I can say yes, because anytime we engage them, they appreciate, the existence of the commission and then what we are set up to do. The only challenge is the fact that we don't have more people to be able to go after institutions that are not complying. Otherwise, I mean, when we engage them, they are happy to, especially, know their rights. And we always say, when individuals become aware of their rights, they demand accountability from institutions.
Of course. I mean,
yeah. So we need more resources to be able to reach out to them and let them know the Act gives individuals 10 rights, 10 privacy rights. And if you know even one of it, you can hold an institution accountable based on that right.
All banks are there, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Because
the banks are very compliant.
yeah, they will be. They have no choice. But because I'm thinking that they are collecting important data and all that. If you look at other commissions, they're always in the hot seat, if I could say, of the national consciousness. Electoral Commission is they're always in trouble, especially in an election year like this. Yours is not that much in the heat. But let me find out. Has there been occasions when you have had to bear the brunt of some public sentiments also as a commission, as a corporate affairs manager yourself?
Where people are complaining about the commission?
Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
What
we
did you
have
do?
damage control. So we have people who, one way or the other, have some challenge with the commission. If it comes, maybe their registration, that there's a delay, or those basic things. We have people that come up, but more often we support people. People come up with their complaints, and then we help them. The main thing is, I think, is because we do not impose fines directly. So what we do is that we give a determination on your issue. If you bring a complaint to the commission, we give a determination on it, for which you can add to your document to send to the court. So the court does the final work. So we are not able to help you immediately with the solution to your problem. If you desire compensation, we are not able to do it for you immediately. We have to give you a determination. You send it to the court, and the court will help you through that process.
Oh, okay. So you don't fine. You're not a police too. Yes, boss.
Okay, so just as you mentioned, we don't have direct sanctioning powers. But as we speak, the Act is under review.
Oh, wow.
And that is going to change soon.
Very soon you have bite.
Yes.
Now you have just back. Very soon you have bite on top of the back.
We also have some powers,
Okay.
enforcement powers. We are allowed to actually spot check on institutions to know whether they are compliant or not. And beyond that spot check, we can actually prosecute you through the law courts.
In the law courts.
But what she meant is that just as other authorities, data protection authorities outside Ghana has, we do not have the direct sanctioning powers to say you have flouted the law, so we are charging you this fine, or we are asking you to pay this fine or compensate an individual for this wrongdoing or for this particular breach of a provision in the Act. We don't have that yet.
Someone listening to us is wondering, this is much ado about nothing. What harm comes to people whose data have gone out to organizations, and what are the huge challenges that might come to you as a commission in terms of someone walks in and said, I gave my data to this company A, and then what would have happened for you to come in? Okay,
so an example is I gave my data to a betting company.
Have they all registered? All of them?
Most of them.
Most of them, okay.
So I gave my data to a betting company where maybe I won a bet, and they have my photos, and the next minute my pictures are on their billboards everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So those are some of the things.
Oh, that never occurred to me that people can do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll pick your photograph and then...
Yes.
And in that case, what are the remedies for this individual who has become a superstar unwillingly?
So first, you have to complain to the institution that has breached your privacy rights, and give them some time to be able to rectify it. If they do not, then you escalate it to the commission.
and then you come in and call Abdullah Saka Bet. Saka Bet, it sounds good, like a brand. Saka Bet, then you call the big man.
So we'll run a due diligence on them
Yeah.
to establish whether they are compliant. So compliance is not just about registering with the commission. There are a number of measures, security measures you need to put in place to demonstrate your accountability to the provisions of the Act and the data protection principles. So when we run the search and we realize that you are not compliant, then apart from the breach of that individual's privacy rights, the commission will also hold you accountable for not processing in compliance with the provisions of that. So that is what I mentioned earlier. And we do a determination.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your act, and it's quite, first of all, it's voluminous. So I never thought there's a big act like that. Some of the rights, let's pick some of the rights. Right of access to personal data. Why is that a right? He said the data controller, meaning the company that is collecting the, shall inform an individual who is a data subject of the processing. So they must tell you that we're collecting this and we're going to use it for
Yes.
Yeah.
so and so.
Yes.
But you that you are giving, do you know they're going to use it for so and so?
Yes, so is the reason the Act also gave the right to be informed. So at any point in time that you collect personal data from an individual, that individual has the right to be told exactly what you are going to do with their personal information, where you are going to store it. If you have intentions of sharing it with others, you need to let them know.
Okay.
How long you are going to keep it. And if you have to delete it, you need to let them know about it.
Hey, in this country,
Yes. So you asked a question about access. The access there is saying that I have the right to, at any point in time, come back to you as an institution and ask of you how much data you are holding on me. Whether you collected it directly or indirectly, I need to know. And I have that right to be informed. So you have to account for the data you are holding on me, to me.
hey, Saka, right to prevent processing of personal data. An individual at any time by notice in writing to a data controller require the data controller to cease or not begin processing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just call and say, listen, I've changed my mind.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
See the way?
The way the
So-
two of you all went, yes.
Yes.
It means it's a very strong yes.
Yes.
But Saka,
So-
you walk to the company, the bank,
Yeah.
Yes.
and say, you have my data. Don't
Process
use it.
it.
Don't process it.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Act requires of the institution.
And the bank
to
will say, yes,
sit-
sir.
Yes, you have to.
You are supposed to.
Does the guy on the street who is listening to us know this thing? I don't think they do. Wow. Right to prevent processing of personal data for direct marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. The unsolicited SMS that.
That's
So that
it.
thing that comes on our phones.
Yes.
So who do I charge for that?
First to the institution that is sending you the unsolicited messages.
Is it not the mobile telephonic company that
So
sent
you send a complaint to them to cease sending you unsolicited text messages. That's the first one. And if within the number of the time duration you've given them, if they don't do that, you escalate it to the
So
commission.
that is when for the telcos in particular, they get back to us with information about the services they render on our behalf or to us. So they can actually communicate to us. But where they intend to introduce other services for which initially they didn't collect the data for. So you can have a particular business sending you an SMS through their network without your consent, without your knowledge. It is important you get back to them. First of all, to know how they got your information. And if it is established that they got the information through the telco, then you can take the telco on actually.
Give me an example of an individual who has come to you and has won something because of one of the breaches of this act. Okay. What did the person get? Money or what? I'm interested. because I'm trying to empower some listeners to go to data protection. some money.
All right. So I cannot say that indeed they have be able to secure an amount of money, because you even have to prove in the law court that you have been harmed or the breach has cost you so much. However, there is a case pending with the police administration and AG, which has to do with the dismissal of an HR person, an HR manager. How that happened, and then how it was communicated to staff, actually breached this individual's privacy rights. And it was reported to us. So we picked last year in, I think, August, we picked out the institution and the case. You see, the issue is that the individual got mocked as a result of how the institution communicated his dismissal, because he's taking some loans, and in communicating this to staff that he's no more with the institution, they also added sensitive information about his financial, personal financial details, which was against his privacy rights. And as we speak, that case will be prosecuted by the AG. And at the end of it, definitely, there's going to be some compensation to this individual.
Interesting. I never knew all these things were happening in this beautiful country we call home.
So Section 43 of the Act actually gives data subjects some compensations.
We're interested in that. The digital landscape is changing. Now, we're becoming more digital, and if for want of a better word, whether we like it or not, there will be a digital Ghana agenda. It will be forced on us, or it will happen. It will happen. How is that affecting your work? The whole digitalization of the average Ghanaian.
Okay.
How is that affecting your work? Because then it means there's a lot more pressure, information being collected. How are you seeing that coming, and what are you planning to do about it?
Okay, so just as you said, this digitization agenda has actually empowered individuals to be able to sit at the comfort of their homes and secure services, buy goods.
Mm-hmm.
Businesses, banks are now hosting their core banking softwares outside the country and all that. And indeed, just as we said from the outset, personal information is at the center of all this. So it's actually a big deal to the Commission. And what we are doing is to liaise with some of these institutions to actually put in measures to ensure that the data they send outside, for instance, is hosted at locations that are data protection adequate, locations that appreciate privacy rights and respect these privacy rights, locations that have data protection legislations passed.
Okay.
Yes. So these are some of the things that we are looking at. I remember last year we had to engage AWS, which is a global cloud hosting, whatever. Yes. So we engaged them and then had discussions with them about locations that the Commission is comfortable with as far as hosting of data from Ghana is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is how, the digital landscape is impacting our work, and we are also rising up to the occasion as far as protecting the privacy of Ghanaians is concerned.
I was going to ask about international data protection standards and all that, but you brought it up already. For instance, let's look at, are there synergies that you're drawing between the DPC now and other international or other foreign agencies or foreign commissions? I don't know what it would be out there. Are there some things that you're doing between Ghana and some other countries? And which countries would that be?
Currently, Ghana, we are part of the network of African Data Protection Commissions Authority.
There's something like that.
Yes.
Hey.
Network for African Data Protection Commission Authority. And our executive director was the president.
Immediate past
yes,
president.
she just handed over to the Commissioner of Niger. So when it comes to issues of data protection, there's an authority that discusses data protection issues across the Africa globe, and
Amazing.
Ghana is part of it. Yes.
Why is that to say Ghana is like very prominent within this Africa space
Yes.
in terms of data protection?
Yes, we have a lot of these other commissions coming to Ghana for steady visits.
Ghana?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've had Nigeria come to Ghana for steady visits. So, yes.
Someone wants me to find out, social media companies, do you have the power to hold them accountable? Facebook and the rest, all of them. Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, do you have you do? In what way?
We do, but let me put it this way. You see, sometimes you look at the size of the institution and your capacity to be able to actually hold them accountable. So for institutions like that, I think it needs to be taken from the network she just mentioned, NATPA, the network of African Data Protection Authorities. If we have to hold this institution accountable, it has to be a joint effort of the network to be able to ensure that they respect the privacy rights of individuals within the African region. So as an individual authority, that challenge is there to be able to take them on boot for boot.
Of course, I mean, it will be more difficult if you're a small country, small economy, and you're taking on a whole Facebook and all that. But then they are violating a lot of these things. Because think about it, you're talking to your friend, like Isaac would say, you're walking by the roadside and you say biscuit. By the time you open your Facebook, they've sent you biscuit advert. It's like, how did these guys know I wanted a biscuit? So they're sharing something somewhere, and that is becoming a problem. What advice would you give to individuals regarding protecting their personal data in today's digital world? What advice, individuals?
We'll say that you should not share too much. Privacy is power. So you should limit how much you're sharing. That's the one. And the other thing too is that you need to know your rights as a data subject so that you can hold institutions accountable for the data that they are collecting. So if you know what your rights is and they are collecting data, you're able to ask them why you are collecting this, that. Do you need this, that, for what reason? And then it makes the institution accountable to you for the information that they are taking from you.
Interesting. The average Ghanaian, please listen. They said be interested in who is collecting your information. Don't you just like giving information out too much? What are the DPC's future plans and goals to enhance data protection in this country?
Okay, so this year we are scaling up to the northern part of the regions of the country. Before end of year, we'll be based in Tamale, Kumasi, and also in the western region.
You mean you open offices there?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we can better, communicate with the people, create awareness with them, and then empower them with their rights so they can demand accountability wherever they are. Then also, we are also trying to create hubs, or if you want, data protection clubs in certain institutions, educational institutions, so they can champion data protection in the institution. Just as you mentioned, this year, we engage over 2,000 training colleges of education. What we are doing is to empower them with the knowledge so that if they know, they can now imbue this knowledge in the student that they will teach beyond their education when they become teachers. So we are doing quite a lot of things. We are looking at engaging the informal sector by creating awareness with them in their local languages, so that they can equally appreciate their rights and what's expected of them. Somewhere in this year, I'm getting the latter part of the year, we are looking at hitting certain big markets and then creating awareness within the country.
Fantastic work being done by the Data Protection Commission right here in this very country we call home. Thank you so much, officials from the Ghana Data Protection Commission. And Pearl Jichi is the Corporate Affairs Manager. Krobotu Quinton is the Director of Regulatory and Compliance at Data Protection Commission. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming through today. We wish you the very best, and ZFM is always here to support your activities.
Yeah.
Thank you
for the
us.
opportunity.
Have a wonderful day. So, listeners, all too soon. It's 9:57. Yes, I know I'm in trouble for not saying 3 minutes to 10. But before we do that, as always,